Hi guys. So welcome to another episode of the Los Altos Juice Frogs Teambuilder Dynasty. And in this episode, we're actually going to talk about the end of the first season and the beginning of the next season. So first, I just want to say we had a very successful season, 9-4. We were able to get promoted to 2 stars, and in addition to that, get first place in the WAC, which is definitely beyond our expectations. Since at the beginning of the season, we expected to get top 3 in the WAC, which is really good. So now I want to show you the recruiting that I have done throughout the year. And so now it's at the signing day stage, and I just want to show you guys the recruits that we have been able to pick up. So we have been able to get 23 recruits. I always leave a few recruits short of 25, just so that we are able to take on some transfer prospects. And transfer prospects, in general, are better than the people that you can recruit at your star level. So looking at our pipelines, we will be losing Illinois and Pennsylvania, but that's not a big deal because we successfully added California. And hopefully in the future, we will be able to add both Florida and Texas. So those are the states that we're going to be going after in addition to Ohio, since it's much more beneficial to get a pipeline state in a state that actually has a lot of recruits. So for example, getting a lot of pipeline states in small states like DC and Maryland, for example, is not going to be nearly as effective as one big state like California. So we did very well in the recruiting. We ended up in the 20s nationally, which is phenomenal for Heisman difficulty. And here, I just want to show you that we got a quarterback recruit. I like this guy a lot because he has very good throw power. His accuracy is not the best. So this isn't somebody we're going to be able to start from day one. But I think in a year or two, he could really be a surefire starter for us. And it's going to be somebody we're going to count on when we get to the tougher schedules. And the best part of the recruiting class is our wide receivers. All 5 guys have 90 speed. This guy is great because he has 91 speed and 84 acceleration. So already he's just as good as Maxwell. This guy, 93 speed, absolutely phenomenal. 95 speed, just absolutely incredible. There are very few guys with 95 speed, even at the top BCS conference schools. Unfortunately, his acceleration is low, so it's not going to be a player that we can play from day one. But the good news is that acceleration tends to improve year over year much easier than speed. So he'll eventually be in the high 80s in acceleration. Then he'll just be a complete burner. And then you can see we have another 2 guys that have 90 speed. So we have tremendously improved upon our wide receiver depth. And next year, I really look forward to being able to run deep routes out of a lot more formations and not just rely on Maxwell and Cunningham. Because one of the problems that we face this year is that the players tend to get tired very easily after running too many deep routes. And then our uh, backup players just aren't good enough or fast enough to really run those deep routes effectively. And then we get into a lot of troubles. For example, in that one game where Cunningham got hurt, we really ran into problems. I think that was against New Mexico. And that should have been a team that we could beat easily. But unfortunately, with Cunningham hurt, we only have one legitimate deep threat. But now that is not going to be a problem next year. I foresee that we're going to have 6 players with over 90 speed, and we could probably play 4 of them legitimately, and that would just help our depth tremendously. And next year, all of our backups will basically have 90 speed. And here I'm showing 2 cornerbacks that I recruited, and they all have 90 speed. This one guy, he has 92 speed, 85 acceleration. That's great. He's going to be able to play from day one. And this is one of the prospects I discussed in my introduction video, where we had to beat out Connecticut to get him, and I'm very glad that we were able to do that. And then we have another strong safety. He doesn't have the best speed, but at the strong safety position, hopefully he can deliver some hard hits. And it looks like that even though we got 5 very good wide receivers, we only got 2 90-speed cornerbacks. So that's definitely going to be an area of focus for us when we do recruiting in season 2. And this athlete here, I'm not sure where to put him. I'm thinking I'm going to put him at either fullback or as a lineman. he definitely will not be a receiver or cornerback given his very, very low speed. So that's it for recruiting. And now we are going to talk about the conference realignment. Since we have made it into the top three in the WAC and got a promotion to 2 stars, next season we will be playing into next season we'll be playing in the Mountain West. So that is definitely going to be a challenge. I think in the WAC, probably half the teams were better than our team and half the teams were worse. But in the Mountain West, I foresee most of the teams to be better than us, if not significantly better. So here I am making the change. And just looking at the teams in the Mountain West, I know that Boise State, Fresno State, Nevada are going to be very tough. And then San Diego State and Hawaii are good teams as well. So there are only about 3 teams that I think we can easily beat, being New Mexico, UNLV, and Wyoming. And the rest of the schedule is going to be pretty challenging. But that's what we look forward to, especially after getting first place in the WAC. I'm definitely looking forward to a challenge. So now I just want to show you guys the schedule that we'll be playing. So given that we have a pretty difficult schedule and we're playing a difficult conference, I added a couple of games that should be relatively easy. So we have home games against UAB and Texas State. And then in addition to that, I added an away game in Akron because we recruit a lot of players from Ohio, and that's a pipeline state. And that's a pipeline state that I want to keep. So I promised a lot of the recruits in year one that we're going to be playing a game in the state of Ohio. And then finally, we are going to be playing against our rival Utah in Orem. So hopefully, we will be able to come out with a win there. Most likely not, but at least we'll be able to improve on the performance from last year. So looking at our depth chart, Harrell's still going to be the starter, but I think we have 2 solid backups in Freeman and Fletcher. And I pretty much cut everybody else because I did not have confidence in any of the other backups, like Kendricks, for example. And I don't even know if Harrell is going to stay the starter since he had a lot of errant throws as well in the first year, but we'll see. Cunningham's obviously going to be the halfback of choice. Here, just showing you the tremendous depth we have a receiver now. Cohen and Kazi are the leftovers from the previous year. And now we have 4 players with 90 speed. And that's going to make a tremendous difference in our receiver depth. And we will be able to run the deep routes every single game, pretty much every play. And we will be able to switch up the players as well. And we may even be able to see Cunningham at halfback because now we have so much talent at receiver. We don't need Cunningham to play receiver all the time. As you can see, his catch stats aren't that great. And frankly, he dropped a lot of balls on those slant patterns. When they hit him, he drops the ball. Even though he's a very tough guy, in general, he does not have a high catching traffic rating. And now I want to show you guys the recruits that we're going after in year 2. So we have 23 guys targeted on our board. A couple quarterbacks. In particular, I like this guy, Justin Stover. I know we have to go against USC, but he's just a great all-around quarterback with 70 throw power, 70 throw accuracy, as well as 70 speed. This guy has good speed and acceleration as well, but his accuracy is a little low, so I'm waiting until next week to see what his throw power will be. If it's in the 80s, then I think we'll definitely go after him. If not, I think we'll just have to ignore him. With our tremendous receiver depth, we're really going for the best of the best receivers right now in season 2. And this guy in particular, I'm very high on. He has great speed, great acceleration, very good catch skills. Unfortunately, we have to battle Ohio State and Pittsburgh. So it's unclear whether we're going to be able to get him, but he would be a great pickup if we can get him onto our team. Now I'm just going through some offensive linemen, some defensive linemen. Nothing too great here. Linebackers look pretty good, but I did not scout all of them. But as I mentioned earlier, cornerback recruiting is definitely going to be an emphasis for us this year. And all 4 guys right now look very good, especially that guy with 92 and 85. This guy could be good as well once I scout them and see what their speed is. Basically, if their speed is over 90, I'm going to recruit them heavily. If not, I'm going to drop them. But it's definitely looking good. I wish I had more recruiting hours to scout all these guys, but right now we already have 2 guys scouted with over 90 speed and decent acceleration. So it's looking good right now for cornerbacks, and that's going to be a focus for us. No free safety. This strong safety, he has A speed and A acceleration. So if he lives up to that after we scout him, we will pursue this Tom Blair guy heavily as well. But we have to battle Ohio State and Michigan State to get him. So we'll see if we can finally land this guy, or if he turns out to be as good as he looks on paper. So that's it for recruiting, and I just want to say that we are very excited to start season 2. I'm really looking forward to challenging the Mountain West.